Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my session, Social Brand Monitoring with Einstein Platform Services. How many of you have already created any application using Einstein Platform Services? Anyone? So today I'm going to talk about Einstein Platform Services as a technology, and I'm going to demo an application that I have created using the services. But before that, please make any purchase decisions based on currently available products and features. My name is Radoslava Radkova, and I am a technical curriculum developer at Team Trailhead. I'm also Trailhead Ranger and a co-organizer of the Bulgarian Developer User Group. Fun fact about me, I like solving problems, and I'm into fashion. And I think that's how pretty much my idea came along, to use Einstein Platform Services to monitor social media channels. So what was the problem I was trying to solve? I wanted to use image recognition and natural language processing models to monitor Twitter posts. And this can be achieved really easily with Einstein Platform Services in real time. What can we use the insights that we get from this information? We can use it for campaigns, for targeted product recommendations. We can monitor also our brand perception and client satisfaction. To accomplish this, I have used Einstein Platform Services, which is scalable, easy to integrate with Salesforce, deep learning service. Einstein Platform Services has 4 APIs. Einstein Image Classification is used to train deep learning models to recognize and classify images. With Einstein Object Detection, we can not only recognize the object on an image, but we can count how many objects there are. We can also determine their size and location. With Einstein Intent, we can monitor the intent of the user. Einstein Sentiment is part of Einstein Language API. And with Einstein Sentiment, we can monitor the tone of text input. Now, I'm going to talk more about each one of them in a minute. And let's start with Einstein Image Classification. Einstein Image Classification allows us to categorize objects on an image. Trying to derive, if you think about it, trying to derive any meaningful information from social media would be very difficult if we can't get any information from an image that somebody would post. Luckily, this is very easy with Einstein Platform Services. Einstein Intent is part of Einstein Language API. We can use to categorize and analyze text inputs. This intent can be conveyed in social media, like text, posts. We can convey also information through words, sentences, phrases. And what can we do with this information? We can create cases from tweets and route them to appropriate agents. We can also determine whether customers are interested in our product and which ones they're interested in. And we can also understand better what they want. Einstein Sentiment is also part of Einstein Language API. With Einstein Sentiment, we can classify the tone. of text input. We can classify it into 3 categories: positive, negative, and neutral. Using that information, we can monitor our brand perception and monitor our customer satisfaction. How do we use Einstein Platform Services? So the first step that you need to do is to create a data set. If you want to learn how to use the services, you can use some of the Trailhead projects and the already pre-trained data set created by Salesforce, just to create a simple application. But you can also create your own data set and train them. The data set consists of inputs and outputs. The inputs are the example that you're going to be using. Outputs are the labels. We categorize these examples into groups with labels. Labels would be the outputs that the model would be using to give us the prediction. The second step is to upload the dataset. Once you've gathered the images that you want to use as your training data, we need to upload the dataset with some examples. The third step is to create the model. And this is done by training the dataset. Once the model is created, you can use it to get the prediction. The prediction comes into rank list with the most probable label, most probable output coming first. Now I'm going to give you a quick demo of the application that I have created. In Salesforce, I'm using the contacts objects. And I have created an example contact named after me. And I'm using one of my test Twitter handles, redcoverad. I'm also using the campaigns object. And I have named my campaign Rad Campaign, which I think is an excellent name for a campaign. I've created a custom Twitter object, and here I'm going to store all the information that I get from Twitter, like images, text. Not only this, I'm going to store here the information that I get from Einstein Platform Services. Going back to Twitter, I'm using one of my test Twitter accounts. And using the hashtag that I have determined, Rad Campaign, I'm going to tell everyone that I want to buy the shoes that I've taken a photo of. Once this is done, I'm going back to my Salesforce. And almost in real time, I get the information from this tweet. So as you can see here, we've got the contact information, the campaign. I've created sections for the different results from Einstein API, Einstein Platform Services. So this is my image, which is loading a bit slow. So they're correctly predicted as Adidas brand, with 99% probability as intent, I get sales opportunity. And this time, if you noticed, this looks like a very small probability. And we can expect that because the data set doesn't contain many examples. The sentiment has predicted that this is a positive statement with more than 50% probability. How did they build this up? In Salesforce, I'm using the contact object and campaign objects with the customer Twitter handle that I want to monitor, together with the campaign hashtag. I've also created a new custom object called tweet with lookup to contact and campaign. But here I'm storing not only the Twitter handle and the hashtag, but I have here the result from my Einstein Platform Services API. I've used Heroku Connect to synchronize the data between contact, campaigns, and the tweet objects. Although this is not necessary, you don't have to use Heroku Connect or Postgres database. I've used the Heroku Connect Postgres database, and I'm using a Node.js app to get the information through Twitter Streaming API. And once a tweet comes where I'm interested in the hashtag, almost in real time, I get this data into Salesforce. To communicate with Einstein Platform Services, it's pretty easy because we have already open source libraries that you can use. So in Salesforce, I'm using those classes, but I have also created 3 methods that I'm passing the information I'm interested in. So this is get image prediction, get intent prediction, and get sentiment prediction. And here I'm passing the tweets I'm interested in. Let's look at some code. So this is the method that I've created, get image prediction. I'm passing the URL of the image that I have from Twitter. I'm using one of the classes. This is Einstein Prediction Service. And I'm determining the type of the service that I want to use, which is image. Then I need to specify the data set that I'm using. In this case, this is brand logos. I'm also passing the model ID and the URL. As a result, I get the label and the probability. To summarize, you can use Einstein Platform Services with any type of input. You can use social media channels, you can use emails, all kinds of text, data, and image data. The model that you're going to construct would extract the common features from the dataset that you're going to create and make the classification. As an output, you're going to get the intent of the user that you've predetermined in your dataset. For example, is this a sales opportunity? Or maybe the tone of this text, which can be negative, positive, or neutral. What is next? If you find this interesting, I encourage you to look at Trailhead. There are modules and projects that you can learn from and practice and create your own examples using Einstein Platform Services. There is also a session on Einstein Platform Services, which would be, I think, Wednesday and Thursday in Hilton. And as a challenge, I would like you to use Einstein Platform Services to create your own smart applications. Thank you very much for your attention, and I welcome any questions. Yes? Yes. Sorry, I didn't hear the question. Yes. So what I've used it for, I have created in Salesforce a campaign, and I have determined a hashtag. Then, in that Node.js app that I have created, I'm only filtering for tweets using this hashtag that I've determined in the campaign and the contact Twitter handle. So this is how I'm filtering, yeah. Otherwise, you can get a lot of results. There are about 6,000 tweets a second, and it will be a lot of information. And there should be a way that you use to filter those results, yeah. Yes, yes. Thank you. Hello? How large of a data set I need to train on? So the larger, the better. I have used data set with about 30 to 40 examples in each label. The more data you've got, the better model you'll create. So you saw, for example, on my Salesforce Einstein Intent section of my tweet page, you saw that the opportunity, the sales opportunity had only 29% probability that this is actually, although you saw the phrase, it's quite probable that this is a sales opportunity. The probability, however, wasn't great because I didn't use a very good data set. So the more examples you have, the better data sets you create, and the better algorithms the model will have. I'm sorry, could you repeat the question? So what you can do, you can use pre-trained classifiers from Salesforce. We have a few, and you can find them in the documentation. But the point is to build your own data sets, to use your data. For example, if you are building a data set for a brand, you can use all the images you've got for a certain brand or a product that you're going to be looking for. Thank you.
How does this compare? Why would you use this kind of solution instead of Social Studio?
I know that Social Studio could do this very easily. And I've used Social Studio a few years ago. However, I haven't got information on the current functionalities. I don't remember if we could do image recognition with Social Studio. But again, I give this example as kind of inspiration that everybody could build this. And this was my idea. There could be tools and technology that could do this better. But I want to show that we could do this with Einstein Platform Services. Thank you.